Should I focus on my strengths or try to improve upon my weaknesses?
Should I focus on my strengths or try to improve upon my weaknesses?
And I don't know if this is in regards to StrengthsFinder or if it's just in general in life, but you could take it however you want.
Right. Because I was going to say there's two major categories, and you need to be really clear which category we're talking about. Are we talking about talents or are we talking about character? Because if we're talking about talents, absolutely, right? I could say, oh, you're right handed? Okay, well, I want you to spend the rest of your life signing your name with your left hand, right? Um, so in terms of talent, I would say, right, I'm a strengths coach, so I would say, of course, focus on um, the focus on building your strengths, right, and weaknesses. You learn to manage around those and to do, we could call it doing damage control around your talent areas of weakness. In terms of character, I would say, I mean, if you want to try to ignore your character weaknesses, go ahead, but see how that works out for you. Because even though character development is hard work, the lack of character development is much harder work in terms of the repercussions that it causes your relationships, your internal sense of everything from guilt to panic, right? That sense of just, how did I find myself in this trap again or in this spiral again? And so, in terms of character weaknesses, that's where we kind of hold that tension of, okay, I love how my friend Katie Scourgia gives a great interpretation of Jesus' line in Matthew 5 when it says, take sides with your accuser on the way to court. Otherwise, he's going to take you for all that you have. And Jesus isn't making a law about like don't ever go to court. He's saying, she's saying on an internal level, right? On a psychic level, it's basically the sense of own the reality of what's broken about you, know that it's held together in God, and at the same time, as you do that, you're inviting God's grace to come in there and bring light and bring healing to that thing. I think that most character deficiencies, character weakness, are actually rooted in woundings, pains, areas of neglect, or areas of trauma that manifest as character weakness, or fears, right? Fears of not being loved, fears of not being accepted. And so once we actually have the courage to go into those places, knowing that once we go in there, we'll actually find God there loving us and developing us and cultivating us and holding us through that. It first of all takes some of the energy away from it. And usually it's that energy that gets us in trouble, right? It's the idea that we need to either cover it up or express it. Unhealthy expression and repression, those are both unhealthy opposite ends of a spectrum. I think the healthy way through that is acknowledgement before God, holding that thing with Jesus in conversation and saying, wow, I can't believe I found myself here again. What would you say to me? And what's the thing underneath this? This is hurting, that's needing some of your love and affection so that I don't feel the need to act out in this way in order to make this part of me feel okay. So, strength or weakness, talent, definitely develop your strengths. Character, maybe we need better language around it. Ask what's going on inside of you that's needing a touch from the Father, Son, and Spirit, an area of you that needs healed, that needs to be brought into the light. And you'll find that maybe that character weakness will start to disappear the more you let yourself acknowledge that there's love flowing to that place of you that has caused you problems in the past.